leaves early, like Thursday morning. Like she's got to be to the school like at like 3 because they're gonna like take a bus over to the airport, and then she works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night.
Oh my gosh!
So she's like kind of has like everything like in packing cubes kind of ready to go. So, but we spent like 4 hours at the mall today, like doing like some shopping. I'm like exhausted, like.
Oh man!
It was like an outdoor mall, so like it was like cold and rainy. Like me and my brother were like walking around the whole time. We are just like, I'm just whooped.
Outdoor malls wear me out.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was 85 here on Friday before the storms came through. Today the high was 42. It was snowed this morning.
Yeah, it's snowing right now.
It snowed this morning. There was snow on our deck because we're supposed to get our decks.
Oh yeah, I saw you post that.
Yeah, they power washed it yesterday. They came out and like power washed it real good, and they're going to stain it today. Like put new like stain coating on it, and they're coming tomorrow because tomorrow's gonna be 74.
That's wild. Yeah, we don't have any warm days coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be 80 on Tuesday again. It's and then I think 56 on Wednesday. So it's Pam's on spring break too, so that's nice. And then Mallory's on spring break the next week. They're not on the same one this year.
Jason, do you got the players playing in the background too? It's like coming down to the wire. It's funny because this tournament they do a 3-hole playoff and they had a 4-hour rain delay. So like they're like running out of daylight basically. So like in Jacksonville. So like
I thought for some reason that was in Oklahoma.
No, so if they end up tying, like they can't do the playoff tonight because there's not enough daylight. So that'll be interesting. They'll have to do the playoff tomorrow.
St. Patrick's Day too. Last week I forgot to plug in the computer to take the calls till about 10 minutes into the show.
I didn't think you were even going to do one.
I wasn't. I talked about that on Mike in the Midwest today. The only reason I did was because I got home and like the show sounded so crappy from Give Kids the World that like I wouldn't be able to sleep that night unless I got everything hooked up and working. And so once I got hooked up and working, the best way to test everything was just to do a live call-in show because I wanted to know how it sounded and to see if the phone lines work. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to see if the phone lines, I may as well just do a live call-in show for an hour.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it.
I hear you.
God, I hate it. It sounded so bad. It just, that's never going to happen again. That still bugs me. And now I hate this week. Nothing on TV. There's nothing on TV. Like all I watch is sports. So now I have nothing to watch. Guess I'll put on college baseball. Alabama at Texas A&M. Nothing. All right.
I know I kind of don't want it to do that, but like I kind of want to watch this golf tournament too. So I'm gonna put it on something a little bit less noisemaker. Actually, I can just put silent, like a silent.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, Don. Hello, Brooke. Let's see if Instagram's going. Instagram is going. Hello, Carrie and Beanie. I never pronounce it right. 5357. Where's Batman? Flaherty, Brian, Richie Tubb. Oh, he's rooting for Rory. Brian is. We are going to take calls.
I'm rooting for a playoff, but I would love to see the playoff tonight, which is not going to happen. But
we are going to take calls. Where's Batman in just a second? So hang tight. Jason's driving home.
Yeah, he was in Indy for the tournament. I was talking about you to my brother today, Jason. I said, like, because I think you're on the same page as me. Like, Mike just heard my long rant. I think conference tournaments are kind of dumb. It's just a money grab. It doesn't really change much. For some teams, maybe, but like, it rarely like helps, I feel like. And I was just saying, like, I love that we lost yesterday, but like, I feel bad for like my buddy Jason who like drove out to the tournament. Like you want to see your team win when you do that, but like selfishly, like I'm kind of glad we lost yesterday.
More rest.
And then you got to carry, like, because we already won like 9. Then you got to win like 16 games in a row to like close out the season, which is kind of tough. Like we needed a loss. I wanted a loss so that we can just win 6 in a row.
Aaron's watching too. All right.
I'm watching the players.
Okay, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the VOGP Open Line for Sunday night, March 16th, 2025. It's our pre-St. Patrick's Day show. if we have one. I mean, just pretend like everything's green, like Kermit. We're here. I'm Mike Roman, host of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You can find me over at beourguestpodcast.com. I'm one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel as well, joined by your co-host, your best friend up in Michigan, the biggest Go Green State fan. I'm MIZ this week. Both of our teams are in the dance. Excited for that. He's got the higher seed, the better seed, the lower seed. I don't know how you're going to call it, but he's in better shape than we are, but we'll see. We'll have a good week this week. Scotty G, Must See Adventures. Check it out over on YouTube. Scott headed to Hawaii later this week. Super jealous of that. What's going on?
Happy Sunday, Mike. Happy early St. Patrick's Day, as you said. And what they always say here in East Lansing is you don't have to worry about finding a shirt to have green on St. Patrick's Day because our whole wardrobe is green with Michigan State gear. So always an easy pick for me on St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't think about that because, if you listen on the feed, this is late, right? I mean, this has already happened. But if you're tuned in live, we have a lot of folks tuned in live, Facebook, YouTube, all over the place. We're going to, obviously, Ricky, Pam, and I are going to be wearing green as we record on Monday. And I do not have much green in my wardrobe because, like, everything.
Dude, we got to get you a state shirt, man. What's going on? I got a Mizzou cap.
I might have to get something because, I mean, I have no affiliation in the Big Ten. So I did. That is because I look at my closet. I have lots of red, white, and blue because that's the Flames, and everything else is black and gold or Cardinals is red. I have like no.
You got like green dopey shirts. That's about it. Maybe
that's about it. Yeah, I do. I do have like when you run Disney events, you do kind of.
You're gonna get a color. You're gonna find all the colors.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about my running section of the closet. Like that's where I go to just grab like. They're not hanging. They're just kind of in the corner, like to grab to throw on. Yeah, that's not exactly the.
My office is very cold, so I will. I don't know why I work next to the facility guys too, and they just make our building freezing. I swear. So I will be wearing like a quarter zip Spartan gear for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, your whole town is green all the time. Dude, that's a good.
I'm telling you, yesterday, as the time of recording, so it was like it's the trifecta always. So it always happens around the tournament. So Michigan State's got a March Madness game kind of happening. It's a Saturday. It's almost St. Patrick's Day, and it was the first nice day of the year. So we always love to go to campus when that happens because like it is glorious for people watching and like oh my gosh. And the Spartans had a big hockey game going on too. Like it was just insane atmosphere going on yesterday, and I just love it. I love living close to Michigan State because you get to see all the students just having a good old time, and man, were they having a good time yesterday.
And you had some good looking pizza there a couple days late for Pi Day, which everybody else in the country celebrates Pi Day. St. Louis Day. That's right, because 314 is our area code. Actually, we're in the 636 out here in St. Charles County. But
and I had Detroit Day the day before. I think I've told you this. 312 is Chicago. I think they were like numerically giving those to the Midwest big cities, but
317, I believe, is Indianapolis. Also, shout out to Barb over on Instagram. So her team just won the hockey state championship. So it's a good day. So you're just talking about hockey. So congratulations to them. But tonight we're talking a little Disney. And I thought we would lead off with a story that caught fire over in our clubhouse earlier this week. And this will kind of have something to do with Scott. Scott's doing this week. Just have a little discussion. How you get to your Disney destination. And and a lot of folks, I was shocked. They didn't even know we had this channel over in the clubhouse because when you go over to the Discord, which is our clubhouse, it's basically just a live chat, kind of like a message board, the new generation of message boards. You can check it out at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse, free for everybody. And there's channels. So there's one for dining. There's one for the theme parks. There's one for, international parks, whatever. There's one though, that's called travel hacks and discounts. And that one's not used a whole lot. I mean, it is, whenever there's a discount, Cody does a good job posting there from Missouri. Great job there. But when something comes up, man, this thing was on fire earlier this week. When Southwest Airlines came out with these changes to no free check bags, that was the big thing. And there's a couple other changes that are coming on as far as like credits expiring after 12 months. That thing caught fire because I think that a lot of guests, and this is just, maybe it's out of the Midwest. I know it's true of a lot of people from St. Louis, that almost everybody that flies to Orlando from St. Louis flies Southwest Airlines because we have 8 or 9 nonstops to Orlando daily from our airport. And I've only flown Southwest except one time I flew Frontier. Will not do that again. That was not comfortable. That was like way below Southwest. I enjoy Southwest because it's a 2-hour flight. The flight attendant's super nice, super friendly. I mean, like I see what you do on Delta. I know that you're a Delta loyalist. You have the card. You have, I saw that you're posting your menu, dude. You're going to get like the meal that I had at my wedding reception on your flight to Hawaii. I'm not going that far. Like, dude, I don't have time to eat chicken marsala and all that. So I'm like, holy cow, what is this? I mean, that is sweet. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to do that. But Southwest, like it's 2-hour flight. Like you can throw me the bag of, the pretzels and, give me a Coke Zero. I'm good. Like it's sweet. Okay, good. And it's cheap flight and I get my credits. But, I saw that. I think it was Tom Bricker that posted a message the other day, like a blog post. And the gist of it was that he felt, this is just what he felt. And I swear, I felt like I agreed with him. This Southwest has like all this goodwill built up over decades, right? I mean, because they have like the hearts on their planes and, their social media is like all warm and fuzzy in the commercials, like over the past, decades. Like they were the friendly airline, right? I mean, I was scared to fly, but I was like, I'll fly with you guys. Like you guys are nice. You guys are cool. I'll get on an airplane with you. I'll risk my life. I was scared to death to get on an airplane, but I did. And I flew with them. I picked them to get on an airplane with, and it all worked out fine. But I feel like now they're like trying to really squeeze me for every dollar I got. They're going to make me. Now I got a credit card, so I'm going to get one check bag for free. And that's really all I need, a check bag and a carry-on. I'll be good. And I'll probably use my credits within a year. This probably won't affect me that much, but the point remains. I feel like they're taking goodwill and they're just trying to squeeze a little money out and they're going to lose so much goodwill. I don't know long-term that this is going to be I think it's a terrible decision long-term for maybe a little bit of short-term money grab. I think this is what Disney has done lately. I think
it feels like the park. Remember the resort parking? It's what it feels like.
Oh, exactly. That was my rant real quick. I don't know how you felt because you don't fly Southwest as much, and I
do fly it though. I just recently flew it from Vegas to Orlando actually about a month ago, and I do like Southwest. My problem is like I just don't have the flights here. You're talking about in St. Louis, you got like 9 daily flights to Orlando. In Flint, Michigan, we used to have like 2 or 3 a day, or maybe not that many, but like 2 a day. You had something, and that was nice because I just like the direct flight. So we used to fly Southwest all the time out of Flint, and then they just moved for whatever reason. So I think that's a lot of it too, right? You're kind of loyal to what's around you. So like I'm very loyal to Delta. I mean, hey, I just love them, but I have a huge hub in Detroit, so I can get to almost anywhere I want, and a lot of times direct through that. But I was just blown away by it. And I was talking about like the resort parking. That's kind of what it felt like. Me and Liz were kind of talking about it. It's like that's like their one marketing thing they can do, right? Bags fly free. They've been doing it for years. Like, why don't you just build a little bit more into the cost of your airfare and still 100%. Market it that?
Yeah, if they charge me $20 more on the air, like on the ticket price, I wouldn't even notice. You know what I'm saying? I would never notice that. And my bags still fly free, and I'm totally happy. I never say a word.
And they always talk about this $49 airfare or $59. I never see those flights. So like to me, it's like this was your big thing was the bags fly free. And like, I mean, it's not gonna, I don't think it should make or break, but I've seen people like just even Ricky was like, nope, I'm not my next flight. I'm not flying Delta. I mean, I'm not flying Southwest. She booked a different airline, which I don't know if I would go that crazy because I'm very like brand loyal like that, but
I mean, I'm still flying Southwest. I mean, because I just don't have that many options. I mean, they're American, you got to connect, and there's, I mean, but I look at it. I mean, it isn't going to affect me that much because I will get one check bag per ticket I buy with my credit card. So I don't need to.
That's the thing. There's still ways around it. You got the credit card for sure.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
The credits kind of got me a little bit too. Cause like, I mean, I don't know how often people fly, but like the expiring credits could be kind of impactful. You make a flight change or whatever, and now you have to make a decision within a year, which I still think is pretty fair for the most part. Like 365 days to make a decision on rebooking. I think that makes sense, but you know what? It might not be for everybody. So I thought that was kind of interesting too.
Well, and two, you don't get as many, like you hardly get any credit, like or earn credit for like want to get away fares, which is what I always book. You used to get like 6 times, I get 2 times. So it's like it's way, but we got a caller on the line being very patient. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in.
Hi, this is Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, thanks for calling in. What's going on?
Hi. Well, I know that you guys are a fan of things that are nostalgic,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I thought I would pass something by you to see if you've ever heard of this before.
I like it. Go for it.
Okay, good. Well, when Hollywood Studios used to be MGM Studios, it was a real working, filming studio, and there was a little known puppet TV show created by Jim Henson's group, and it was filmed in the studios, which is now where ABC Commissary is. That was where they would do the filming, and it was a show called Animal Jam, and it was a Jim Henson puppet show. And I wondered if you guys had heard of it. I can tell you a little bit about it in a cute little short story.
I've never once heard of this. All the podcasts I've listened to, all the blogs I've read, and I know Jim Henson obviously had a huge impact on the studio. So please do share.
Well, I'm not surprised because I looked it up. It had a real short running. It went from February 24th of 2003, and it had one season, and it closed April 4th, 2003. And what it was is, like I said, it was a filming of a show that ran on the TLC channel. That I think it moved to Discovery Channel. But mainly, what it was is a live action dance show for kids. The puppets were pretty magnificent. They had puppeteers that were just out of this world great. It was a pink orange zebra character, and her name was Edie, and her sidekick was a monkey with a cowboy hat, and his name was Waffles. And it was really cute. They were the host of this wild, crazy live dance show where they would have about 20 kids, and they would just be kind of dancing around. And they would teach you about things like staying active and wildlife and plants and stuff like that. But it was really, really, really great puppetry. And then they had one of the signature things they had was this great big elephant. He's probably about 7 foot tall puppet elephant thing, and his name was Bozart, and he would just randomly come out, and they would start yelling, "Go Bozart, go Bozart!" while he danced around. So, none of this rings a bell?
No, I have never heard of this. This is like, but you know what? If they brought back this show in 2025. I'm going to. I mean, tell me, well, I can't do it while I'm doing the show, but I'll be doing this when I have a snack tonight with my my Captain Crunch. I promise you that. But yeah, I mean, all the hipsters would be wearing this T-shirt. If you could make this T-shirt, I guarantee you, this would be the shirt to have at this point.
Oh my gosh!
Bozart.
If I could find a T-shirt or a sweatshirt that had Animal Jam, I would pay a lot of money for that. It was like I said, little known. But I live in Florida, about 2 hours away from Disney, and here's my story about it. I live in Florida. And my next door neighbor, she has a relative who either worked for Disney or worked for the Jim Henson Productions. I'm not sure which one, but I think she was a producer of this. And they are in need of children. And so my neighbor called me up and said, "Hey, Charlie, do you think your 2 kids," and they were grade school at the time, "do you think your 2 kids would like to come and do this?" And I thought, that sounds fantastic. Yes. And so we went to the MGM studios, and when you go in, they had you just kind of sit off to the side, and there was probably about 20 kids, and then they came and got you. One of the cast members came and got you, brought you back, took you inside to this big, I guess it's essentially like a green room, where you sit and you wait. And there's monitors up on the wall, so you can kind of see what's going on the sound stage. And they come, they get you, and they have you sign contracts, and then they said, "Now we're just going to take your kids and teach them, a few dances." And so they would do that, and we parents, we were waiting and waiting and waiting, like hour, 2 hours later, and finally we see something come on the screen. They're getting ready to do the filming of this one episode. Had to do with like spring is sprung or blooming of spring or something to do with that. And the lights go on and they're on air, and I think, oh my gosh, my kids are in the front row. This is awesome. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, my kids have gotten discovered. And And then, the puppets are going around doing their stuff, and they're hilarious and funny. And this zebra lady is so funny. And then they, cut to black. I guess that's where they're going to insert a commercial or something. And then we're waiting, and I'm feeling all kind of puffed up and proud. And kids were in the front row. And then the lights come back on, and my kids are in the back row. And the reason is because when they first came on, the lights came on, and all the kids are dancing around. My kids froze.
Oh, no.
They were just like.
Well, I mean, it's a 7. Well, I mean,
froze.
if a 7-foot pink zebra in a cowboy hat comes out, I'm gonna freeze. And if his name's Bozark, I mean, come on now, maybe he was Bozark from the Ozarks. Yeah, I don't, from down. I see that Matt Parrish is tuned in over on Instagram, so maybe he's a neighbor of his down that way in Southwest Missouri. So who knows? But no, what was the name of the show again? Because Veronica, she's tuned in over on YouTube. She's from down in Florida. She says she remembers this show.
Animal Jam. Yeah, there's only a few episodes,
so
and
it's
just like wacky and crazy and kind of confusing. It's really interesting. But one of the fun things is when we parents were in this green room thing, just kind of waiting. The character, the female who plays the zebra, she knew that we parents were probably pretty bored. So they would turn the cameras back on. She would have her little puppet kind of come in from the side and then come back out again, and even put its little hoof underneath its underarm and slap its underarm and make little noises, like how kids used to do that. But yeah, it was really fun. The other thing I wanted to tell you too is I went on a solo trip a while back, and something you guys, Scott and you have been talking about a lot. You talk a lot about the buffalo grilled chicken sandwich.
Yes.
And Scott talks a lot about impressions de France. Am I saying that right? Impressions
yes.
Correct.
Okay. So I want to ask you a question. So of those two things, so on my solo trip, I thought I am going to both of those, both of which I'd never experienced. And I want to know which ones you think I really liked and which ones I really didn't.
Of those two?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm guessing you probably liked Impressions de France and didn't like the grilled cheese, because the grilled cheese can be hit or miss depending on how well it's prepared. But Impressions de France is consistent.
I'm going to go the other way because I think that would be the obvious answer. I think Charlie's trying to set up a hot take here, maybe.
Oh, no. I think that, Impressions de France consistent. The grilled cheese.
A little dated, though, but.
Sitting out. I don't know. So let us know. What do you think? What was it?
Mike, you're right. And I'm so glad to hear you say it's like hit or miss, because I was so disappointed. I was looking forward to this grilled cheese sandwich, and I order it and I take it to my seat and I bite into it, and I am so sorry. It was cold and kind of gelatinized, and
yeah, if you get one that's been sitting under a heat lamp, that can be not the best thing ever. Yeah, because sometimes they'll give you one but a fresh one, I'm telling you, they're amazing. But I've had, and I mean, I'm not picky, like I'll eat it and still be like, oh, that's still way better than what I have at home, because I mean, I work from home and eat from home every day, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, but some are way better than others, I'll give you that. That's why I was thinking what you're thinking. Yeah.
You are so right. You're so right. Because a nice cast member walked by, and I said, I am so sorry, but is this sandwich supposed to be like this? I'm so disappointed. Immediately, she took a sandwich, she got me another one, and it was great. So,
good, thank you.
Exactly. Right. You're spot on. Hit or miss.
Good. I'm glad that was rectified, and the Impressions de France impressed.
As it always does.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, hey,
what's your favorite scene in Impressions de France?
Oh my gosh, that is so challenging to answer because I love them all.
Let me get mine real quick. Yeah. Mine's super easy. It's the old couple walking along the sea at the end, because I always wonder, like, I hope that's Pam and I, like, someday. Just
I like that
walking
one.
off being happy. That's mine. Go ahead, Scott. What's yours?
So there's this one that I really like. Elizabeth kind of rolls her eyes at me. But it's like in the vineyard, there's this gentleman, like after a hard long day, he's in there and you can hear like the water kind of dripping. It's the sound effects for me. So the water is kind of dripping, the music gets a little quieter, and then he just uncorks a bottle of wine. It's just boop, and I love that. And then it cuts to like this fountain of water. It's just beautifully directed. Well done. I'm obsessed with this. So in my next vlog episode, I don't know if you follow the YouTube channel. There's we're gonna show some of in that waiting room. There's this like artifacts and stuff as you wait. And there just happened to be a very interesting one in there of the biggest impressions to France fan that evening that we were there. So kind of some humor involved in that, but you should check out that next episode. It will take you back to when you watch the show.
I'll do that. One thing I discovered on that too is there's some music that plays kind of towards the beginning, and it's very almost haunting like.
Yes.
And it's the on hold music, and I didn't put the two together until I saw Impressions de France. The on hold music for if you call Disney to like ask about tickets or you have a problem with something and you have to phone them. It's their on hold music. That's so cool.
You don't know how many times I've heard that in my life. I've heard it.
Would you?
A jillion times in my life, being a travel agent for the last 12 years or so.
Doing what you do.
So the opening number is like a flute solo.
Go ahead.
The opening number is a flute solo. Then it goes into that piece of music you're talking about, which takes you to the green
organ,
which takes you to the green Venice. And I actually experienced that last summer, which was very cool. And all I could hear was that music as I was doing that experience. So very cool.
I think the thing that gets my heart racing, though, are the bikes that are going downhill. I just think that lady in the front, she is going to lose it.
Well, and
I don't know if you can picture the lady in front, Mike, but she reminds me of Jocelyn.
Yeah, Jocelyn. And just, I mean, I can't get past all the jorts. I mean, the jorts, that's the sign of the times, right? They're on it feels like, the Schwinns and the jorts. I mean, that is, but that's why I love, the Epcot movies. They're a time capsule. I mean, they are.
I want to reenact that whole film someday.
They're a time capsule, Charlie. I mean, it's a great call. I'm just going, and I can't wait I'm going to Google that, YouTube that tonight, and it sounds almost like a fever dream, but I'm going to make sure it was real because Veronica backs you up. And I mean, Jim Henson, anything he touched was gold. And the studios and Jim Henson, that's the perfect marriage too. So, great call.
I got one last thing, then I'll let you guys go.
Sure thing.
On to the next caller is I called, it's been a year or two ago, and you guys were so nice. I was talking about my mother who's 93. I think you guys dubbed her like Queen Pat or something like that.
Yes, I remember this.
I was telling, do you remember that? Oh, that's so nice. So I took her my sister and I took her to Cinderella's Royal Table. We had the best seat in the house. It overlooked the carousel, and it was just the best meal ever. But the thing that was so memorable is Snow White and Little Mermaid too. Ariel spent so much time with my mom, but Snow White just sat there and they just had this long conversation. And then I motioned for Snow White to come over to me, and she knelt down, and I looked her straight in her eyes. I said, you made her dreams come true. And she looked at me, and she's still in character, but I could tell she was speaking from her heart. And she said, she made my dreams come true.
Oh,
and it was just so sweet. I can't say enough about that place. I think some people don't have good experiences there, but that will forever be my top place. Food, service, everything. Thought it was fantastic.
That's great.
I'm so glad you shared that because, and we kind of started off like a negative thing, right? I mean, they're sitting there ranting about Southwest and their changes, and it's, I feel like they're burning a little bit of goodwill that they've built up over decades with, like we said, like the whole thing, the warm and fuzzy thing, and now they're trying to squeeze me for, hey, you got to pay for your bag, and you got to, you're not going to get your credits. But we always have to reinforce those stories, right? Where somebody reads the room and has the opportunity to make somebody's day and seize the moment, and they do that. And it happens all the time.
Mhm.
But so many times I think the bad drowns out the good in those stories. And I'm so glad that you took the time to share that, because that's why we keep going back. Those are the memories we get to make. We get to make those memories, and it's because of great cast members and great folks like that. That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been my honor to talk to you guys. Thank you for everything that you do, and keep listening, and just love every episode you put out. Thank you.
Charlie, you're the
Thanks,
best.
Charlie.
And, best wishes to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And don't be a stranger. You got to not have so long between calls. That's the deal. Okay.
Well, I really, really, really wanted to come down to, you guys were doing the oh my gosh, the wonderful place down there for the Make-A-Wish Foundation,
Give Kids the World.
The Give Kids the World. Thank you. Give Kids the World. And I really, really, really wanted to come down to that, but I've just been having some things with my mom lately, medical stuff, but everything's good. So a little bit busy, but keep it up, and I'm gonna do what you guys said. I'm just gonna go down there and volunteer sometime. I'm close enough, just 2 hours away. I'll go flip some pancakes or serve some ice cream or serve some pizza, or however I can help.
Hey, I made wicked avocado toast one morning. Scott, what did you do?
I was the waffle man, and I jokingly say it was my years of experience staying at Holiday Inns and other like buffet little self-service breakfast hotels. So I was making waffles all day. I made that cafeteria smell really nice.
Yeah, scoop ice cream. You could drive the train. Our friend Adam drove the train one day. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff. But no, we appreciate Charlie, and get up there. It's a wonderful place. And you take care of your mom. Tell her we said hello.
Okay.
All right. Good talking to you, Charlie.
Take care, Charlie.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. All right. 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Great conversations also going on over on Instagram. We appreciate that. You can always tune in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube is where we're broadcasting live. But lots of great comments on favorite scenes in Impressions.
So many good ones. I love the guy like chopping the wood too. Like,
well, I mean,
with that backdrop behind him. Oh man, it's so good.
Oh, I mean, maybe it's just because Pam made homemade enchiladas tonight, which were killer, but the pastries, right? Oh, dude, I could go for some eclairs right now. But we have our next caller on the line, so we got to get to business. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller. I hear you. You there?
I hear something.
Somebody's from the 815 area code. Hello, hello, hello.
815. Where's that?
We're going to find you. All right, let's hang up and see if we can get you back on. I hear you, though.
Rockford, Illinois. Kind of somewhat close to you.
Maybe my daughter's pranking me up in Chicago. No, that's 312. Anyway, she'd have a St. Louis number because she's got a cell phone. All right, 407-413-9395. They're trying again. Let's see if I did something wrong. Could be operator error. Hey, who's joining us? You're back. Hey, who's this? Hey,
this is Billy. How you doing, guys?
Hey, Billy?
Yes, sir.
My grandpa would have said hay's for horses. That's what he'd have said if somebody said hey. That's what I always
right.
My whole life, that's what I got anytime I said hey.
I always like to say hey though.
Anyway, what's going on up in? So you up in Northern Illinois? Is that where you're calling us from?
Yes, sir. I live just about 50 miles south of Chicago.
Nice.
So I was just calling in about the Southwest change.
Cool. Let's talk about it. What do you think?
Apparently they failed to contact me about this. I am a shareholder in this company, but I only own 30 shares. But still, they didn't ask me my opinion at all.
Hey, if you're watching the video, I own 1 share of Disney, which is hanging on my wall right there. If you look at the video, I got 1 share. They never call me about anything, but they do send me a thing. I get to vote if I want, but I never do.
Proxy, yeah,
exactly. I don't know what that means because I'm not that smart. But yeah, they didn't call me either, so don't feel bad, Billy. No. So what do you think, though? I mean, I just think they're burning goodwill to squeeze a couple bucks out, a couple nickels. I don't know.
Well, I think possibly a better solution would have been for them to say, hey, you know what? Times are tough everywhere. They're tough for us too. And instead of 2 bags flying free, 1 flies free. And if you want to take two, then you have to pay for the second one. Again, they didn't ask me for my opinion.
But see, that's a good Midwestern reasonable answer. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's like a meet in the middle kind of situation. Like it's called a compromise, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
Yeah. I mean, because I'll be honest, like, because I'm not trying to dog my girls, but dude, when 2 bags fly free, you should see the way they pack. They bring everything. Like, I mean, you could do it with 1 packed bag and a carry-on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could make this work. And what's going to happen? I mean, you got to look at the downstream consequences of this. I think that now, after this goes into effect, and I think it goes into effect for flights booked after May 28th, is I think the date. But the overhead bins are going to start to be just like, I mean, it's going to be like Hunger Games on the planes, right? Because everybody's going to try to do carry-on only. And so it's already pretty crazy to get overhead bin space on those flights, unless you're like, because I always book early bird, so I get one. If I'm carrying on, usually I just take a backpack on. But I mean, those things are going to go so quick, and then you're going to have to check, because they usually let the C group check for free. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's going to be wild getting the overhead bin space on those flights now, I think.
You're right. It already was a challenge already. But I agree. And then I was reading the AP News, and they said that, over the course of a year, they would make $1.5 billion for charging for bags. But the possibility was they would lose $1.8 billion in market share just for charging for bags. So I thought it was a strange decision.
Yeah, that's because I'm not a business person, right? I mean, I don't know exactly like how this all shakes out. I just look at it from like my perspective, and I will, like I said, I will still fly Southwest because they're the best option by far to get out of St. Louis, because they have they have a monopoly. They have a mini hub here. I mean, there's not that many quick ways to get to Orlando. Now, going other places, I might not fly Southwest, but to Orlando and actually to Disneyland, they have a lot of good flights out to all the LAX and John Wayne and Long Beach. They have great flights there too. So to the Disney destinations from St. Louis, I'm pretty locked in. But like Scott, where he's got like a Delta hub, I mean, I think they had kind of a distinction with the bags fly free kind of thing that made them special. And I think when you take something like that away, then what is the separation? What's keeping you loyal to that brand? I think what it does, then it just puts you kind of like as a free agent, right? Because then like, well, if I don't get my bags flying free, I don't have to just look at Southwest anymore. I'm going to look at American, Delta, or whoever, and just, kind of make myself free. Scott, do you feel that way? I mean, I think it's putting a lot of people back into the pool that were maybe just exclusive to that brand.
For sure. I mean, that was their one marketing like advantage, I felt like, all over all the other airlines. And I felt like they could have just, I kind of said it earlier, they could have just pumped a little bit more into your want to get away airfare, and maybe people wouldn't have noticed it. But I mean, some might have that frequently fly. They may have caught on to that, but I feel like you lost a really nice marketing edge there by eliminating that, which I think is just kind of wild from a business perspective. I
mean, Billy, you have tons of flights out of Chicago, right? Because you have Midway, and I think Southwest flies exclusively out of Midway, because Paige uses how's that?
They do have a hub out of O'Hare. It's much smaller than Midway's, but you're right. Midway, I mean, when I look at flights to Orlando, there are several nonstop flights from Midway to Orlando. And I think you're right. I think that it does make it so that, I don't have a card for Southwest. So when I look at flight prices, I always kind of factor that 2 bags fly free in versus, I only typically take 1 bag anyway. But when I look at that, and factor in that price in versus other airlines where I would have to pay for that bag, what is the cost basis for me flying down there? So I think you're right. It's going to make people start looking at other airlines like, hey, why am I flying Southwest? And they do typically have cheaper flights, but now, people may start looking at Spirit and saying, hey, compared, or Delta or American or any other of the airlines, and compare prices with them now, because now there's, you take that benefit away, what do you have left? It's just ticket price.
I agree, because I think too, a lot of folks just didn't shop. I think a lot of folks just went on Southwest and looked at just booked because like, I'm getting it's just easier. I'm getting my 2 free bags. And if I got a family of 4, that's 8 free bags. I'm in. Like, I'm never looking at Delta American anywhere else. I'm just buying my tickets and it's a done deal. Where I think now a lot of people are just going to say, where you have options, like if you're in Atlanta or if you're in somewhere in Texas or, where there's just not a lot of options. I mean, if I'm going somewhere besides Orlando and there's options, I'm in, what I'm saying? I'm no sucker. If I'm going to Denver or Minneapolis, or I don't know, I've never looked, but if I'm going somewhere, I'm going to definitely not just look at Southwest. I just know right now, Southwest is definitely a better option to Orlando, but I would definitely look. I'd see, hey, because I don't want to pay extra. I just want to get there comfortably and, as cheaply as I can, safely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. I don't mean to beat a dead horse.
No, this is what the show's about. I love getting opinions, and I appreciate it, Billy. So don't be a stranger. Good. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All right. See you.
They're going to have to do something, though, I feel like, because like there's no like in-seat entertainment, like I love that in Delta, right? And other airlines have, so I can like connect to the live TV. I don't have to get my iPad out or whatever like that. And like most Delta flights now have the free Wi-Fi for like Sky Mile members, so like I don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi and all that. So like I feel like they're really slipping here, and they lost their one advantage. And like I think Billy said it, Wade just said it too. Like, why can't you just have one bag fly free instead of 2? Like you can still say. You can say bags fly free still, because there's going to be more than one bag that's flying free, but it's just one bag for you. But you can still say bags fly free.
And that would have been such an easy compromise, right? One bag flies free, because then at least you are still having the delineation between you and the other airlines. You're right.
Or you can say bags because your overhead bin one could fly free too.
Because you have a backpack and a bag. So we have another caller. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in. It's a crazy night. What's up?
Hey guys, it's Beth. How are you?
Hey, Beth, what's going on? Good talking to
you. A recent cruiser. She's a silver.
Disney US.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So how'd you like it?
So that when I got off, I was like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. And then I thought, definitely not a once in a lifetime, because I want to go sailing again on a DCL. So it was pretty amazing. So
yes,
I've never cruised and I've never been out of the country. So I checked a couple things off the list.
Wow. I'm dreaming about it. I got my Disney treasure hat on and I got my sweatshirt on from my cruise. I'm like that's all I can think about right now. So what was your favorite part? Give us a couple highlights. Like what sold you on the cruise?
Let's see. So I've never had a vacation, whether I was on a ship or not, like that. And just all the magical touches, the cast members were phenomenal. We got to meet a lot of really great guests that were on the ship as well, that I know there's a couple that we're going to stay in touch with, or I'll stay in touch with. And the other thing that I really loved and recommend is if on, Nassau Day and Castaway Key Day, if you don't get off, I would recommend getting off at Castaway Key, but if you don't get off at Nassau, 3 times during the day, there is a 1-hour walking tour of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like Keys to the Kingdom, but a 1-hour version. And it was phenomenal. So
that's awesome.
If you get the little headset and everything.
See, I've always wanted to do that, but I always have a 17-year-old, 16-year-old with me. Like, you have to be 18 and over to do that one, I believe. So hopefully next time I'm on the Wish, I'll be able to do that with all of my family.
Isn't that called like something called like the art of the ship? Something of the ship. It lends itself. I think the word art is in it. Is it not? But it's more of like the tour of the whole ship, right? But I think the word art.
Yeah, it definitely does focus on the art, because like it'll talk about how the carpet around the Grand Hall has, like on deck 4 has 7 Cinderella icons in it, and all the on deck 3, 4, 5, the chandeliers are the story of Cinderella. And then talks about the artwork in 1923 and on the artwork in around the ship, and why the forward is green and the aft is blue, and what art represents it. And it talks about, or they shared about the art made specifically for the Wish, which was pretty cool. And what else? I don't know.
I keep looking through my pictures and I wish I was still there.
Right.
Oh, I know.
So,
I know.
dude, and I will say, like, I was so nervous about this because, like, Beth, like, we're really great friends, and like, you always feel bad, like, when you like talk something up, like, to someone,
100%, you're
like,
oh,
'cause I've been
please.
talking up Disney Cruise Lines, sailing, the Wish, and all this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if she hates it? So this makes me feel so good.
Yeah, no, I got on the ship and I was sobbing because I couldn't believe I was actually there. And I texted Scott and I was like, when you get on the ship, is it normal to cry? And then
Yes,
I
it is.
was like, is it normal to cry when you get off?
It is normal to cry when you get back and you're in the same spot where you started. You're like, oh man, it's over. This stinks.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And just the having the dinner rotation with the same servers was awesome. Our head server, she loved us. We sat with I was with a friend and we sat with two other groups of two. So it was just a table of 6 women. And that was fun to get to know them as well. And then one night we ended up at the Nightingale Lounge, which was really fun. And if you are on the ship, try the Sweet Nightingale drink. It's the little bird and it has mint coming out of its back end. And then there's a hidden straw, but it is a delicious beverage.
So good.
Cocktail, sorry.
If anybody jumps in it like right then, there's a drink with a bird.
That's something we don't talk about a lot on the show, Mike. With cruising is like, because I normally am seated with like my family or a bigger group. And our first Be Our Guest podcast cruise, we actually sat with a different family that we didn't know. And I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
Like it's something about your table mates on cruising. Like they kind of become like longtime friends. I'm guessing that's who you exchanged numbers with, Beth. You said kind of at the top there. And like, that's a cool thing we don't talk about enough. Like you do make some like long-term friends, even if you weren't like planning like a podcast cruise or anything like that. You just randomly like connect with people. And I just love that about cruising.
Yeah, we started an Instagram chat because one of them was in Canada and I didn't know how that would work out of like international texting and stuff, but we'll get to that part. But anyway, it was a dream that came true. So, or a wish that came true, I guess.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So, we kick it around food a lot here. So I'm going to leave the main dining area. I'm going to go towards like festival of foods or anything outside the main dining. What was like a favorite meal or a favorite food item that you had outside of the main?
Am I able to use a lunch restaurant that I would eat dinner at?
Sure.
We
Why
did,
not?
we
Yeah,
did
sure.
at 1923 for lunch as well. Or do you want like quick service?
No. So you said 1923 at lunch was one like a good meal, good food item you had there.
That's a great idea to do. Yeah.
It was great, and we got to know other servers because, like, we saw our main server. But we didn't get seated in her section because you're not in your regular table. So we got to meet other servers and connect with them, and then see them the rest of the ship or the rest of the time on the ship, which was really cool. And besides that, there was one afternoon my friend brought back. I was getting ready in the room, and my friend brought back some chicken and steak tacos from Deck 11, and they were delicious.
Oh, that sounds so good.
You want to know something?
I ordered. One night I did room service of just cookies and milk, and I highly recommend that.
So, yeah, so I'll say that is a great hack. You did that on your very first cruise. That usually takes people till about their third or fourth cruise to start doing that. You got that early and perfect. Yes.
Mike, you want to know a hack I saw recently that you would like?
For me.
Okay, go ahead, Scott.
So here's a hack I saw like on a vlog the other day that Mike I think would like. So they went and got tacos, but they didn't put like a protein or anything in them. Then they went to the barbecue place and got like pork or ribs or whatever, and then they put those on the taco as the protein.
Oh, shut up.
Like I was like, oh my god, they made barbecue tacos out of this. This is awesome.
Yes, that is a good hack.
Yeah. It was awesome. The whole thing, I don't know. Anyone that is debating, yes, the Wish and the Treasure are like the biggest jump because they're the newest, but it's whatever ship it's on, whichever one of the 6 is great. So
That's great. Coming from a first-time cruiser, she's already hooked, Mike.
Oh, man, I'm saying it is. But I mean, really, you just said it. Like any of the ships is amazing. Like, And I did do that tour when I was on the Treasure, by the way, in December, that walking tour you did, because it was amazing. Because they do tell you, like, oh yeah, these carpets are this color for this reason, and this tells you you're in the aft, this tells you you're in the forward port, starboard, and then I forget it, like 12 hours later. I'm like, oh, where am I? I was like, oh, wait, where am I? Because like in the Treasure, I was just like, oh man, wait, it's blue, it's green, it's dark, it's brown. Where am I? I don't know where I am, but who cares? I'm on a ship. It's fine. It's all right. But that is super interesting. I'm so glad you had a good time though, because. And I'm so jealous too, because your first cruise, you still got all the other ships to explore, and Wish. Oh my gosh,
I can't wait.
Did you like? What was like your favorite show? Did you see any shows or anything like that?
Yeah, so we went to all 3 of them. My favorite, I really loved the opening night one with like it was after the sail away party. I just really loved because it was all the main
characters,
5 characters. And I did, my second runner up was The Little Mermaid, and then my third was Aladdin, because Aladdin was a little, in my opinion, was a little slow at the beginning, but it picked up and it was great. The other cool thing was somehow I got out of, I was on, deck 13 in the adult pool, and we were having these popsicle cocktails, and we got out of the pool, and this man was in front of me. I was like, first of all, I apologize, because this is not a very ladylike stairs to get out of, because it was just straight up. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally understand. And then we started talking, because that's what I do on the ship, is just talk to everybody. Oh, yeah. And I asked him if it was his first time. He was telling me his answers, and he's like, yeah, my daughter works on the ship. And I was like, oh really? And I said, what's her name? And he told me her name and what role she had, and she was the host of one of the hosts of Match Your Mate, which was, first of all, hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And then we figured out the other role she plays, and so then I was gushing on her because she was thriving in her role. And then I got to see her on Castaway, and she's like, yeah, my dad told me about you. And I was like, oh gosh. And then I saw him again, and he's like, yeah, she told me that you saw her again. And then I saw her again. He's like, well, what am I? Because I knew the whole story of their family. And she's like, well, at least he didn't give you his social security number. But anyway.
That's the amazing thing about a ship.
Connection, so.
Yeah, you just run into people all the time on the ship. It's so awesome. I love it.
And that's what I love about cruising, though. You do. I mean, you run across people time and time again. It's intimate experience. I love it.
It's even better when you become cruise famous. I tend to come cruise famous for some reason.
Yeah, if you ever get up during in the adult areas, if you ever get Scott got hypnotized on one of our crew, a couple of the podcast groups ago, dude, he was famous for the rest of
a guy came up to us in Cozumel. It wasn't even on the ship. A guy came up to Cozumel. I was like, you're the guy that got hypnotized.
Because you were nuts. I mean, he stole the show. He's still famous. People in Cozumel still would recognize him if he walked through there in 2025. This was in 2017.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know. Go on a
So did you book a placeholder?
I didn't, and I really regret it. I really want to do that.
I was going to text you that you should, no matter what you do, just book the placeholder, because you'll get the money back even if you don't book it.
You can change your mind tomorrow and just say, I want my $250 back. And they'll be like, boop.
I know.
Oh,
that is a regret.
I mean, next time
but I
get it.
did come home with too many souvenirs that equaled out probably the 10% down. So
that's not how it works.
Oh man, that's funny.
I was like, of course I need 2 Castaway shirts. Oh, actually, I only got one. Of course I need the ornament of Castaway, and of course I need the ornament of the ship. And then I need a Disney Wish shirt, and then I need this Disney Wish shirt. And oh my gosh!
You don't have to tell me. I got the hat on. I got. Dude, my whole closet is stuff, so I get it. Now, I'm so glad you had a good time, and so we'll be seeing you on a cruise here soon. It'll be fun. Can't wait.
Yeah, and anyone that is gonna sail the Wish, if they have Disney Plus, I really recommend watching Making the Wish. It's their National Geographic documentary, because you're gonna see things in that show that you're gonna seek out on the ship, and then it's just gonna make you love it even more and appreciate it. So,
that's a great tip.
Yeah, we came home. We got back on Friday. My friend and I watched it Friday night. We were looking for cast members, because some of our staff some of the cast members we met were original, like, inaugural staff. So that was fun. But anyway, I'll stop talking now.
No, this is awesome. I mean, because I have cruise fever so bad, and I still got to wait till July.
If it's to relive your first one again is like, oh my God, I would just love to do that again. But you know what? The next cruise is here soon, Mike.
Yeah, Wendy, so you don't check in while you're on your.
Oh, I was going to talk to you about that after the show.
I worried about that when I was in the shower this morning. And that thought came to me. I'm like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't check in while he's in Hawaii or something.
I think I do. So I was going to talk to you about this.
I started doing, I was like, I couldn't do the calculations in my head while I was like in the shower.
Which would be like 1 p.m. though. So it'd be easier.
Oh, dude, that would be the best. Yeah.
Or no, it's midnight. So it'd be 6 p.m.
Whatever. Yeah. It's not the middle of the night. I know that. It's better in Hawaii. Everything's better in Hawaii. Anyway, Beth, thanks for the call. I'm so glad you had a great cruise. We'll just before we start doing all okay, see you, Beth.
Yeah, bye. Thanks, Beth. Good to hear from you.
Bye. Oh, 407-413-9395. Yeah, sometimes
she's hooked. She's hooked, Mike.
100%. I mean, how could you not be though? I mean, it's like I
know
because it's people ask me like, what's a cruise like? I say, I mean, it's not exactly this, but it's almost like going to Walt Disney World, staying in a deluxe hotel, eating signature dining, and seeing like awesome, like great shows every
night. And the characters, I always say the characters are like a big thing because especially if you're in the characters or you have younger children that are like, the wait times are so much better and there's so much quantity for that too. And like, oh man, I missed them on the first day. Well, guess what? You can see them the second day, and then they might be like in a pirate costume or something, different. Like I love the availability of the characters too, and the crew is always the best on the cruise line.
Absolutely. We have a question here in the chat though from Stars Kizzle, which I like over here.
Mike, I gotta be Scott's Kizzle coming up.
Stars Kizzle. Any tips on getting picked to be the Grand Marshal at the Magic Kingdom for the parade? My family and I will be at the Polynesian starting this Friday. Love the show. I don't, because I've never been the Grand Marshal. I know Debbie back in the day who used to be on our show like a decade ago was.
I think Bali from the Lizards was once too.
Yes, she was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but
I don't have it. I've never experienced that. I don't know if it's like, because I don't think it's like the Indiana Jones wear obnoxious like shirt kind of deal. I think you just have to be like
right place, right time.
Right place, right time. Like look super cute. Like have your family like being really fun. Maybe like wearing like some cool Disney shirts or something. Like I would look. Like I think you want to have like a big Mickey shirt on or something like that,
super energetic, but just got to be at the right cast member just have to be on you like at the right time.
Because I don't know, and it probably changes. It's probably not the same cast member that decides every day either. So
that'd be total luck. I mean, and shout out to Jennifer Heinrich. They were just on a cruise. I believe they were on I don't know, maybe they're on Treasure Wish. I don't know, but they were just on. I saw them on Castaway Key. I saw them at Lookout on their cruise. They're posting on social media, killing it, having a great time. Again, I have lots of cruise on my mind, so I've been watching their coverage. They're over in
more of our listeners were picked. Jason and Andrea have been picked too.
Oh my gosh, awesome. So they say looking for happy families,
and that's kind of what I was thinking, like be happy, right?
Exactly. But Jennifer's in the queue for Guardians of the Galaxy right now, so
that's awesome.
I'm getting ready to be spun round and round like a washer. And we have another caller on the line who's being patient while waiting for Mike to stop talking to everybody. What's going on, caller? Your last call of the night. What's up?
Hey, it's Robin from Jackson Heights, Queens, New York. How are you guys?
Hey, good. How are things in New York tonight? It's pretty awesome.
Things are good. Spring is early, so we're very happy. My son is 19 months, so he's loving the weather. Means more park time. So can't really complain. Early spring is a good thing.
Love to hear that. And how exhausted are you with a 19-month-old? It's got to be busy.
So he's helping me train for a marathon in 2027, 2028. So, that's
there you go.
I look at it.
That's a great way to look at it. A marathon's a piece of cake after raising a toddler. No problem.
Yeah. I should be more specific. It's going to be the Princess Half Marathon, but to me, it's a marathon. So I'm not a runner. I'm more of like a hit kind of a person. But running after him, I think I'll be in good shape.
Oh.
Robin, that was my first target for my first half marathon. That was my first Disney half, was the princess one. So that's a good choice.
Yeah, it's absolutely a great choice. You're gonna love it. So, hey, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Honestly, cruising.
Yeah.
There we go.
You guys have gotten me so in the mood for cruising the last several weeks, and now that I've got confirmation that we can probably go on a cruise next year, I'm like in the zone for planning. and I was just looking up some cruises and trying to figure out, what proposal I can give my husband so that he'll sign off on it, and then contact you, Mike, to help book it.
Hey,
The proposal. I love. All right, so I have a PowerPoint template that's ready for you already. No,
Scott's got Excels. Scott doesn't have PowerPoints. He has Excels for every place he's thought about eating, every place he has eaten, and every place he will eat in the future. Because that's in every resort he stayed in, and all. He's got Excels. But here's the deal. I mean, I'm just a quick plug. You do want to book with us because you get free money to spend on the cruise. It costs exactly the same. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a dummy move not to do it, because you're going to have like a couple $100 depending on how expensive the cruise is. Maybe I ordered cruise credit for somebody yesterday. It was $700. I mean, free money sitting in their account when they get on the ship. I mean, boom, costs exactly the same. But anyway, so what are you thinking? Like, so is this going to be your first cruise, right?
No, it's actually my third. It'll be my son's first, and it'll be my husband's second.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
So
you do you want to pair it with some? So looking to pair it with some Walt Disney World time, or is that what you're thinking?
I'm wondering if I should. I did tell my husband I'll try to temper the Disney World trips until the kids are older, even though we're going in the end of April, early May, and we're going to Alani again this summer. I think he's understanding. So I was thinking of going for a night to bookend the trip, so that we're not rushed for time. And I do love the bus that transports you from the resort to the port, because it's like a bubble. It's like Magical Express.
Right. Yeah, it's a semblance. And plus with the kid, you're if we're about car seats and all that stuff, because you have a motor coach, which is a huge plus, and it's cheap. It's $45. I mean, it's cheap each way. So you're probably looking at the Wish, maybe a 4-nighter, kind of like what Beth just talked about. I mean, that's a good kind of introductory, not too long. You could stay, Walt Disney World the day, before and after, maybe something like that. You got the Fantasy.
Yeah, so I was looking at the Wish that departs on the 29th of December, and it returns on the 2nd, I believe. And I was going to ask if any of you have been on a cruise for New Year's Eve and what that was like.
Oh man, I have not, but this sounds amazing.
No, I have not either, because my wife is real big into her family, and like if we miss Christmas with her family, she would kill me. But trust me, I wanted to. But maybe sometime soon, because she's retiring this year, so maybe I can. But she's not retiring from her family though, so I doubt that's going to happen if she's watching. Don't kill me.
I told my husband I'll retire from our family if we can go on a short Disney trip.
There we go. I like you, Robin.
And then I'll return.
Yeah, I mean, we used to. Well, we both used to be teachers, though. We used to go down to Walt Disney World like on the December 27th, and we'd come back like on the 3rd or something, right when school would start. Because we only got to go when school was out, so we'd do that. So yeah, we could have made that happen. That'd be and people love those holiday.
The Maritime one is really good. Yeah,
you're trying to remember what they call it. Very Maritime sailings, and the they're not so scared. What are they? They're
do you think they do fireworks at sea on like?
Yeah, they do.
On New Year's Eve, they got to, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what it's like, because I've been to Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve, and that was really cool. I'm going back to work as a teacher this year. I'm going back from maternity leave, so that's why December seems like the best time to go. Yep. And it just seems like a Disney cruise would have some great celebrations for New Year's Eve.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have to worry about capacity issues. You wouldn't have to worry about like the long wait for a bus ride to get back to your stateroom. Like,
yeah, I mean, New Year's Eve, you can have a drink, walk up, watch fireworks. Like, oh, there's fireworks, Happy New Year, boom, boom.
And I'm sure they would do some cool like event, like in one of like the adult areas too, a little fun thing. I bet you they have activities going all the way up to midnight. I would bet you.
Probably up till 1. I mean, that's one thing about a Disney Cruise Line ship, though, compared to like Royal and stuff, is like it does shut down earlier than most. Like it won't go to like 2 or 3 in the morning. It'll probably stop at 1. But I'd imagine on New Year's Eve it'd go till 1. I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, I could be planning some great celebration, but my son will probably want to knock out before then. And it's like, there goes the planning. But whatever, as long as he's having a good time. So that's what I'm thinking of. I should.
Would it just be the 3 of you? Would it just be the 3 of you then? Probably, Robin.
I think so. I've been trying to rope his side of the family in, because they love Disney Cruise too, but like we just haven't been able to make it work with like me having like my son and other things. So I'm going to see if I can rope them in, because since they love it, it would be great to celebrate together.
Right.
And I think it might entice my husband even more to go. And Scott, if you do have that PowerPoint template, no joke, please send it my way.
Yeah. I mean, I've had to do some convincing in my day. I feel you on this. So I've taken my wife away from her family so many times for like Thanksgiving and other holidays. So like I kind of have a down to a science now.
He's convincing. He really is. But
but I think it would be great to bring them, right? Because then like it gives you and your husband some time. Like not that you don't want to be away from your child, but it gives you like some downtime. Maybe you could do like Apollo dinner or something. Just I think that would be really helpful. Like because I know our first cruise, Emily was like 4, I think 4 or 5, and we had a great time. But like, and she was old enough to go to the kids club, I guess, so that was kind of nice. We had it like we kind of tested those waters a little bit, but it'd be really nice to have a family member to kind of help you on the cruise.
No, you're absolutely right. It like when we have family around, it's not that we try to like push Luca onto anyone, but we're like, if you offer, we'll take it up just so that we can have a moment to breathe and eat without rushing. So it would be great to have.
And I'm just thinking like family photos, like I'm just thinking like you getting the photo package and having all these cute like character meetings with like all the family and like, oh my God, I think it's just
like
beautiful.
Dinner photos, everybody's kind of cleaned up and everybody's everybody, got everybody.
I think it'd be really great.
Yeah, it is. It's an opportunity, and you know what? You think like you're the ones having the good time. You and your husband going to Palo and having that evening, but I mean, grandma, grandpa, or whoever gets to have the kid by themselves for a few hours. That's treasured time. You got to remember that's also treasured time for them, as well. On the other side of things.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We were very fortunate that we got to go to Alani last summer, and we saw my father-in-law. He stayed with us, and my sister lived on base with her husband in Hawaii, in Honolulu. So like they were so happy that they got to spend time with Luca, and now we're able to do that again this summer. And now Luca is not as weary about being around people on his own. Like his grandpa is really looking forward to just taking him to the beach so that he can have one-on-one time with him.
That's fabulous.
So that family time is precious. It's timeless. It's priceless. So whatever can help cultivate those memories, if it happens to be on a Disney cruise, so be it.
I mean, I think it'd be really nice on a Disney cruise. I'm just saying, because then like it's not like it's like, oh, if Luca needs you like quickly or whatever, it's not like you're far away either, So like I think it's really nice because then like you can have the app so you guys are all messaging each other, or if you have iPhones, you can iMessage each other while you're on the ship too. So it's really easy to communicate. So I don't know, like I think I mean if I need to join like a family team meeting or whatever, I can do that too to do some convincing. But I think they should go down this way for sure.
That's always available by Zoom.
I mean, if you guys want to join on the cruise too, like more the merrier, I'm not saying you have to babysit. I'm just saying more the merrier for company.
I mean, my daughter will be 18 then, so she could officially go to Palo then. So like, yeah, that could be something.
Whoa.
Mine will turn 18. What you say the cruise ends on the 2nd of January?
Mm-hmm.
That's the day mine turns 18.
Quick, can we just do one more day and do Palo?
Can we just turn around like and spin around real quick out in Cocoa Beach?
That sounds really nice. Actually,
one more meal.
Exactly, one more. How about not a brunch, a breakfast?
Why have we never considered a cruise before the marathon, Mike? Now I'm like thinking about it.
You know what though? All possibilities will be open after this summer because we're not locked into that because all the kids are going to be graduated. Pam's retired. It'll be all just a whole new world after this one. So yeah, we'll see. But no, I hope you make it happen though. Because seriously, this sounds perfect. And I just realized something. 2 out of the 3 people on this call are going to Alani this summer. Not. I
mean, it's spring for me, but yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever. In the next little bit.
I'll be there on Friday. Well, not Alani, but I'll be in.
I'm happy for you, but it's so awesome. I'll be in St. Louis. Oh well.
You're gonna get there, Mike.
I will.
It's great to have something to look forward to.
True.
Like
I have a lot.
I can't wait to go to Disneyland, and I want to go now, but it's something to look forward to. We're gonna wait for our second so that we can do like a big family trip.
I like that.
I love it. Yeah. It's so. Oh my gosh, I love Disneyland so much. So great.
Yeah.
What a great call.
But before I let you guys go, I just was thinking it would be awesome if Disney could somehow schedule a cruise right after a marathon, because I think that would be a great way to relax and congratulate yourself.
So they used to
long, like athletic feat.
Well,
So
listen,
Robin,
it's
they
not-
used to do
it's not
this.
as they did.
Yeah, it was called the Castaway Challenge. So you would run. They would. I think they did it for January and February. So they would do it at the marathon and they would do it at the Princess. I think a couple of years too. But it would be like the Monday after.
Yep.
And you do like a 3-night. It was always like a 3-night sailing or whatever. And then you would actually run Castaway, and they would have like you get the normal Castaway medal, but then you would have a Castaway specific to that Run Disney event medal.
Like a real like medal.
Yeah, so like if you did
like,
Dopey, you were getting it was a 7-medal weekend plus
medal.
you had the cruise.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a real super nice medal, like just like the 6 you got for doing Dopey, you got a 7th super nice Run Disney medal for going to the island and running the 5K.
It was awesome. I never did it though. I didn't have enough PTO.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I know. Like, I mean, I've done Dopey all these times. I never did that because one, I couldn't, like Scott said, there's no way I could have taken another 3 days. There's another thing. My wife was, I was like walking a fine line to get to go down to do Dopey. There was no way I was asking to go on a cruise after that. That would have been like, I was not going to sleep after asking that in the same bed because she'd have been like, you just crossed the line, sucker. And I couldn't afford it either. So, but yeah, that was like the dreamers Run Disney weekend when you got to do the.
And some people would do that and then go to Anaheim for the Star Wars race right after.
That's right. I forgot because and then we
Wow.
got into Star Wars. I forgot about that. That was just like, oh my gosh.
So people would get like 11. I mean, they'd be out there for like 11, almost 2 weeks doing this Disney trip.
And you'd have like what, like 13
11 medals.
or something.
Yeah, because you get your coast to coast too, right then.
Crazy. Yeah,
This is wild.
So, but you had a cruise in the middle. Like you went to Walt Disney World, then you went on a cruise, and you went to Disneyland. Oh my gosh, the days.
And then you have no PTO left for the rest of the year.
You were like 20 grand in Hawk.
Right.
But the memories were worth it.
It'd be cool if they brought that back, though. I've always said they should bring that back. I wonder if they just, the cruises still sail, so you can almost do like your own thing, right? Like you can look at itineraries and find something that leaves Port Canaveral like that Monday. I would not do it the Sunday. That would be like really stressful to run the race and get ready, then go to Port Canaveral. So I would do it like,
That's a
like
marathon,
Monday.
dude. You're really playing with fire running a full marathon.
Right.
You never know how that's going to go.
Maybe on a half. Maybe for Princess you could do it.
I was going to say, you don't want to run.
Because you can finish Princess by like 8:30, 9 o'clock if you're like super
probably
fast.
do a half. It's a full Nope.
Yeah.
Too many things can happen.
But-
I'm actually running Princess with my best friend from college, and I'm gonna try to rope his family into wanting to do the cruise afterwards.
It's the way to go.
It's a perfect way to go.
I'm gonna need a PowerPoint proposal. He'll love it. He'll love the proposal, like the whole PowerPoint template. So maybe that'll entice him even more.
All of a sudden, the Magic for Less is going to have like this like PowerPoint template to use to convince family members.
When you make this PowerPoint, let me know because I would like I want to see a link to it. Like upload it to like Dropbox or something or Google
Yeah.
somewhere. I want to see it. Like copy this. Just I got to see this because I'm invested at this point.
Yeah, I love doing things like that, and maybe it's the teacher in me. So if I can actually do like a little like formal proposal, that would kind of rock my world. So it gives me something else to do that's like Disney related and helps with planning.
17-year teacher here, and Scott's totally in on anything like this. So we're all three in on this. So
Let's do it.
we got to be a part of this. All right,
yeah, I'll send you some drafts, and you guys can put some input.
we'll be
We'll be the steering committee. We'll sign off on it and everything. Yeah. So
yeah, awesome. All right, well, hey, you have a good week
I'm
up
gonna hold
in.
you to it. So have a good night, guys.
Yeah, you
Sorry
too.
to
Take care.
cut your ears off.
Take care of. Is it Luca? You said.
Luca, yeah.
Take care of Luca up there in New York, and have a good spring. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
You guys as well. Have a wonderful night. Take
All right,
care,
thanks,
guys.
Robin.
you too.
Bye.
Good
All
calls
right.
tonight.
Good calls tonight. There's a lot
Dude,
of fun.
everyone. This happened. I was telling this to Elizabeth the other day. Like when you went to Disneyland for the first time, I felt like we talked a lot at Disneyland. You know, everyone was like trying to get your opinion on it. Like a lot of people were in the same situation that they had never been. So then you started booking a lot of Disneyland trips. And like we've been cruising for a while, Mike, but I feel like all of a sudden, like everyone wants to talk about cruising. All of a sudden, like it just comes in these waves, pun intended, kind of. But yeah, it just does.
It does. But I think too, I think a lot of folks in the spring start to really think about those vacations, right? And I think, I don't know, cruising, just it's tropical. People want to have a drink in their hand. They're just ready to get into summer mode. And I think summer mode for a lot of folks at this point is cruising.
Yeah.
Like
I
they want to
agree.
be on the beach.
But I think the cruise industry is just doing really well. I mean, you're seeing
It is.
build all over the place. Yeah.
Cruise industry is killing it right now.
Mhm.
They're just really, they're making vacation easy, where a lot of land-based vacations just have a lot of moving parts. I think people just quick hot take. I mean, because we're way over, but a lot of just not just I'm not talking Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal. I think a lot of vacations anywhere you go right now just have a lot to plan them. Like there's a lot to think about. There's just so many variables with every kind of vacation. And I think cruising, for the most part, it's pretty much you pay your fare, you check in, you show up, and pretty much you're set. You don't have a whole lot to do. Like you do an online check-in and just pick a few things you want to do during the cruise and you're done. I mean, it's so easy.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It could be easy, or you can make it complicated with like shore excursions and things like that. But even that is pretty straightforward. Like you go, you see what they're offering on the website, or maybe you book some of your own things, but like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, super simple. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to wish you a very fun trip to Hawaii. And Alani, we'll be following along.
Aloha.
Yep. So we'll be missing you the next couple of weeks on the Sunday night shows, but maybe
give me a ring, man. You never know.
I will give you a call because I have the phone hooked up to one of the channels, so we'll make that happen. But have a good time. From all of us, we want you to have the best vacation ever with Liz and Emily, and enjoy the time, because we know that Emily's big trip for senior year. So have a blast.
It is. Thank you. And it's 1:00. So when the live show starts, it's 1 p.m. where I'm going to be. So just remember that.
That's so crazy.
Then I got to be very careful that I don't send you something like super late. I know you put do not disturb.
I do. 10:30, dude. My phone is dead to the world until 8:00 in the morning. It's just because people.
That's the funny thing about like those big time changes. I saw when we went to like Europe last year and then Hawaii like a couple of years ago. It's like when you wake up, you just wake up to like all this like flood of news and updates. Like the Discord will be crazy catching up when I'm out there, because everyone's like 6 hours ahead of me.
The world has changed while I was in Hawaii. Okay, so we got it. We're way over. So
I know I haven't had dinner. I gotta go.
I know it's crazy. So we got to remind you, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Don't forget, we'd love to help you take that next cruise, get you an onboard credit. It'll be sitting there right in your account to spend on your tastings, to spend on merchandise on the ship. If you want to bring home those souvenirs like Beth talked about, Disney Cruise Line has the best merch. You can do that. Just don't use it on gratuities. That's not fun. I mean, you can, but just don't tell me about it. You can use it however you like, but have some fun with it. That's the best part. So just swing over to themagicforless.com, fill out the quote form. We'll take care of you from there. Also, Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Click through that. It helps us each and every time you shop on Amazon. And of course, we love our Patreon supporters. You guys make this show possible. You let us do this call-in show. You help us do the video hosting, all the podcast hosts. Everything we do is because of our Patreon supporters. You can support us as well. It's just $5 a month. That's it. And that covers it. It's like a cup of coffee a month, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. This week, we talked about some toys from my childhood that I'd love to play with again. One of the things was a little gun that had the suction cup on the end. It kind of looked like a little plunger, like a little, you'd look at, you stick on things, and slot racing cars and the RC cars that we used to have. Man, those things were the bomb back in the day. We used to talk about some of those shrinky dinks. Scott, anything like that?
I got to interrupt you from like a couple Sundays ago. I was telling about a toy that you were talking about that I had no idea, called the Invisible Dog.
Yes.
And Liz knew it, and my brother was like, dude, you owned one of these. So apparently I had one. I just had no memory of it. But from like what you were explaining and what Bob was explaining to me, I was like, yeah, I think I kind of remember this now. I did have one of those. So I had to just fill you in from a couple of weeks ago on that.
I'm just telling you, Mike in the Midwest is our little bonus show that really doesn't amount to much. It's just kind of our throw-in for our Patreon supporters to say thank you for supporting us at $5 a month. But it's a fun listen. It's usually about 30 minutes, little bonus podcast once a week. But this is what we talk about. This stuff from it might spark a memory. Scott, it didn't work for him, but he had the Invisible Dog. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. So anyway, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. We'd sure appreciate your support over there this week. Give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We'd appreciate that. If you have a few minutes this week, thank you so much for that. Give Scott a follow on the social media at @Scott. I'm at BeOurGuestMike. We'll have another call-in show next Sunday night. I'll be here, be taking your calls solo. So again, 6:00 Central, 7:00 Eastern, all the places: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And of course, Scott has his channel, just flaming. We're ripping towards 1,000 subscribers over on Must See Adventures. It's going to be a big giveaway when it happens. Scott, what's happening over there before you head out to Hawaii?
We're going to have a giveaway when we get to 1K in celebration. So it's the push to 1K. It's our Thanksgiving. So it's kind of weird thinking about Thanksgiving, but like, I think people are going to start planning those trips soon enough. Like,
absolutely.
So we do a Hoop-de-Doo review at Christmas time. And while I'm in Hawaii, I can't leave you guys empty handed for that long. So I will post something while I'm gone. It's going to be our candlelight processional. Ooh, you know, it's our first time seeing that. Josh Gad himself, Olaf himself, plus a little funny bit I talked about earlier in the episode about Impressions de France, a little funny gag thing I did in there. Plus, Time in the Magic Kingdom is going to be an awesome episode.
All right, so check that out. Must See Adventures. While you're over there, like and subscribe. Do not leave without liking and subscribing.
My guy, yes. Don't you want to be part of the giveaway? Yeah,
that's right.
Maybe it'd be something from Alani. Maybe you could get something from Alani.
Let's go, Shaka, or whatever they say over there. Let's go. So check that out, and we'll be back next Sunday. We'll have the shows this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, having a good time. And thank you for subscribing to our show and all the platforms as well. We just love having you here. 17 years of the Be Our Guest podcast, starting our 18th year of the show this week. So thanks for being a part of the magic. All right, so for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday night. If you're tuned in live, thanks for being here tonight. And if you're tuned in on the feed, hope you're having a great week. It's Friday already tomorrow. We've made it. Hey, that's awesome. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wish you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Shoot, I hit the button like 2 seconds too soon. I didn't get the end of my see you real soon. So on Thursday, it's going to cut too soon. Dang it.
Dang it. What a rookie mistake.
I was totally a rookie mistake. My finger twitched.
Oh, no. I know.
It'll be like, and we'll,
a little outtake.
Oh, well, too bad.
That's funny.
Anyway.
All right, good episode. Good episode tonight.
All right, well, go get some dinner, and I'll be texting you.
Yeah, I got to text you about. I didn't think like final payment was coming due or like being able to check in soon.
105 if you're gold. So
yeah, so I am 105.
Email a couple days before. Did you get the email?
Yeah, I got it today. That's what made me think about it.
It was not automatically, so I didn't know what.
Well, Ben emailed me too last week because I think he was covering for you too.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, it's really like coming up. So
I don't send out emails because I know it goes out automatically.
Yeah, so I will probably make that payment so that I can do everything at 105 then. So.
Yeah, just let me know. I'm getting done. All right.
Then it'll be official.
Yep. Then
you got me locked in, Mike.
We're gonna have so much fun, dude. I cannot wait though. God, I just think you're on ship. I know. I need something to look forward to. All right, I will see you later. Have a good
night. Sounds good.
We have for dinner.
I don't know. So I know the girls are home from the Hawaii thing, so I got to ask them like, did you get the answers to all my questions and all that? So it'll probably be something simple, like really quick tonight. So
all right.
All right. I'll let you know. I'll send you a photo.
Okay. See ya.
All right. See ya. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.